Okay.
Alrighty.
Alright, now they can hear me.
Wait, not me.
No, they can hear all of us.
Oh, all of us? Okay. I thought you were
okay,
gonna do like a, hey everybody, guess who I
What's going
brought
on,
in?
everybody, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video.
Oh man, what a
Hi.
Drama alert.
Hey everybody, how's it
Hello.
Hello.
going? Good to hear from you.
Welcome.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Ramadan. A deeply respectful Tet.
No, a tip-top tet.
Tip-top Tet.
And a very solemn and a quasi Kwanzaa.
Salam and Gomorrah? Oh.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. A tip-top tet. Quasi Kwanzaa. And a very solemn and a deep, respectful, solemn Ramadan.
What about Merry Chris Hanukkah Mus?
I mean, hey guys, pack it all in as much as you can. We were just talking about cartoons. Can I throw out one more cartoon based thing I just heard about recently? I found out that Matt Groening, the Simpsons guy.
Yeah, I've heard.
He apparently he apparently approached Fox to do a live action show that he was really interested in doing. That would have been Krusty the Clown gets a late night talk show in Hollywood, and it would be like a 75% scripted show, and then like a 25% Dan Castellaneta in clown makeup interviewing celebrities at the end of every episode.
Oh,
which, like, I think I'd watch that actually. That doesn't sound. Yeah.
Well, they should just.
Would I enjoy it?
Oh, what's up, Christian? Welcome to the stream.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, why isn't it showing up on this chat?
What are you saying, Nick?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, if I enjoy it, that's the question.
I think I might enjoy that. It's got potential there. There's legs.
Yeah. I mean,
the question is how hard are they going to steer into, like, is it going to be like a wacky cartoony show? Because I would want that, like a show where
I would want it to be wacky.
I would want a show like, I literally just remember this. One of the details that I do recall, which is why Fox said no to it, is Krusty, I think, lives in the studio because when he moved into like Malibu, his house like was on a cliffside, and the stilts holding up his house were attacked by a swarm of beavers. And Matt Groening was like, no, we need real beavers. It's only funny. It's only funny if we use real beavers.
Yeah.
Well.
I would want it. I'd want it like. I mean, you know me. I like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. So I would want it like that. Just do it like Krusty.
Just like incomprehensible, like.
They do the interview, then they animate it to it, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would also be good. That would be good.
And still do the skits and everything, so.
Yeah, do a my agent, right? Right, yeah. Kids? You all relate to this.
But yeah, what's up, Christian? Look into this. Well, to everyone who will be listening, we are recording this live on Twitch.
Yes, we do it live.
Yeah,
live.
Me on video.
And this is gonna be the end of the year for.
This will come out at the end of the year, just because this is pretty much the only time we're gonna have.
Yes.
And
welcome to the Kingdom Hearts lore video.
Oh my god. I caught a stream last night. Like I caught a few minutes of a stream last night. Somebody sat to play Kingdom Hearts 2.
Why haven't you watched
without?
Wait, you watch people play what you already played that you watch and didn't play?
I watched a little.
What does that make us?
I watched a little bit of it because one, it was a charity stream for people being displaced at this time, like losing their homes to help raise money. So that's a good cause. But two was they said they were gonna beat it in one sitting, and I thought,
oh, you probably
that
can.
sounds hellish. I mean, you probably
if you mash
can.
the cutscene button, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the deal. Did they watch the cutscenes or not?
I'll tell you this. I stayed there for like 20 to 30 minutes, and what I saw, they did not go through a cutscene. So they probably were just jumping through that part.
Because I think the most grueling part would probably be just the first part of the game, where you're playing as Roxas.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're good, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 is like fairly easy if you're not doing any of the hard stuff.
And yeah, if you're not facing Sephiroth either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you got big PP, but who knows?
Like, I'm thinking of making the next relaxing game once Bloodborne is done. One of the ideas is Jak and Daxter 1, the Precursor Legacy.
You know, I did play that game. That is a really
chill game. I can beat that in about 6 hours. Like, that's one sitting.
Okay.
Like, I would just do one sitting stream, that way I don't have to worry about it. And I would get all the all 101 orbs or precursor orbs.
So many guys. He's gonna be full of orbs. So many you wouldn't believe.
Powerful. You're gonna lose it.
So I get power or something. I don't know, dude. I've been up early, like doing errands. So that's why we started a little bit later than originally planned.
But
hey guys, drinking coffee now.
And that sounds so good. You said it's a little vanilla-y. It's a little.
It's like a fruit sweetness, man. It's
I'm
really hard to
that
describe.
Hazel.
For everyone at home, this is what I'm drinking. Just because they like
quick ad.
It. Yeah.
If you're gonna do that,
dude, if I can get sponsored by this, holy shit.
Well, the best way to do it is like they have all the social media platforms for on the side of the can. Just pop that in there, or not. You know what? Flip your video upside down and then like do that.
Hazelnut.
All our listeners.
Yo, that's the sweetness I'm getting. It's like a hazelnut sweetness.
Yeah.
Go ahead and message their social media directly with our ats and say, why aren't you supporting them?
They're 100% employee owned company as well. So like, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, let them know.
Spam them, threaten them, do whatever it takes. I'm kidding.
Hang up banners over the freeways.
Draw crude drawings and then leave them everywhere in their workplace. You know, whatever.
Yes. No.
Oh,
by the way, should we introduce ourselves?
Oh, sure. Let's do that, please.
Well, I'm Chris. You see me mostly on this channel, on the streaming nowadays. Let's see. Yeah. And like, if you've been listening to podcasts, like, you know, everyone else. But Nick, you want to introduce?
Sure, I'll introduce Ian. So this is Ian.
Ian's the one.
Take it away.
Who refuses to buy a camera.
I'll introduce Nick. This is Nick, my younger brother, and we've been.
That's right. Shalom, y'all. Shabbat, cuz.
you know, for real. Once you got the gift I sent you, I immediately regretted it, and I should have just bought him a fucking camera.
Fuck. I mean, can we say what you got? It was a really nice gift. It was very nice.
We can do. You want to just go into what you've been up to? Because you do have a hard out at a certain time, so.
Yeah, because I think I've got like loads to talk about this go round. So I mean, well, we could talk about that, or we could talk about the holidays, or wherever
Let's
you want to start.
Let's just try to make we are catching up a little bit short.
Okay.
And so we can take questions in the chat if anyone's got any.
All right, sounds good.
Because that is the point of the end of the year, is that we're grateful that people listen.
Sure.
You're still alive.
And it's fucking wild.
We pushed through this thing together. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
it was a Jim Jarmusch movie. It was
and
so
Christian
good.
is the missing link in the group. So I'm reading the chat, by the way. So if you catch me doing that, all right, cool. Yeah. So Ian, what's up, man?
Well, gang. I've just been straight chilling, and well, let me start with
Like a villain.
Oh man, the Jim Jarmusch movie. I still haven't got to sit down and watch it. I'm gonna watch it with my roommates. We're just gonna sit down and watch
haven't watched
and
either.
then it looks so good. I watched the trailer for it when I opened it, and I was like, I've got to watch the trailer just to get an idea. And holy crap, it looks so good, man! I'm so excited. Have you guys seen any Jim Jarmusch flicks before? Have you guys?
I don't. You know what? I don't know. Maybe.
I'd really recommend.
Bandits?
Yeah, he directed Time Bandits, and he also directed.
Oh, got it. Hang on one.
Mm-hmm.
Time. That's all you have to say. Hang on.
Yeah. Directed Time Bandits, and he also directed Lady Bird. Some really great credits to his name. Dead Don't Die is one of my favorite movies. I think it's really good. It
came out this year.
He also did a movie last year. He also did a movie where Tom Hiddleston is like a vampire in a dark relationship with Tilda Swinton.
Okay.
And what a pairing.
Movies.
Sorry?
He's done a bunch of music stuff.
Oh yeah, he's very musical.
The oh god, I don't even know if I'm saying their name right. The Raconteurs.
Raconteurs.
Steady As She Goes. Version 1 was him.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's the Jack White
Neil
project,
Young
right?
and Crazy Horse. He did big time.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Damn.
Got some good
Talking Head storytelling giant.
I mean, those are classic bands, you guys. Listen. This is the sound of our generation.
All right, so you're looking forward to your yeah, wait, I don't even think you said what I got you.
Oh, I got a movie called Ghost Dog,
That's
The Way of the Samurai. It stars Forrest Whitaker. And that is a 1999 picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's shot in like Ontario. He's a Canadian fella, so a lot of his movies are in Canada. Yes. But boy, it looks so good. Just watching Forrest Whitaker in a hoodie do like kind of kung fu moves alone on a roof.
That's right.
It looks so good.
This is so for everyone who doesn't know. This is the movie that was the running gag for every Halloween episode.
Yes.
Where we would just somehow go back to going, like, what's our favorite ghost? And it's Forrest Whitaker. And then I did the big reveal last Halloween that I had never seen the movie.
And
it was coming out of Criterion.
We're going to correct that. Criterion.
Which means it might be a good movie. It might be a respectable film.
The funny thing is, like, it wasn't until I saw a YouTuber, Nick Spheres, talk about Dead Don't Die.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I gotta get on this. This is actually
she makes great stuff.
Yeah. Like, there's also a line in it, which I just want to mention because I like it so much. He reuses a lot of actors. He's like that kind of director.
Yeah.
So
gets all his
Adam Driver and Tilda Swinton are in it in the zombie picture.
I didn't know Tilda Swinton's in it.
There's a scene where Adam Driver hands over keys to a cop car to Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
And the charm on the keys is an Imperial destroyer.
Okay.
And so Tilda Swinton looks at Adam Driver and says, "Oh, I enjoy that fiction very much." And it's such a weird line reading. It's also clearly supposed to be like a reference that hey guys, he did a Star Wars once.
And everyone hated it.
Everyone,
and I mean people hated working on it. So
yeah. It's a listen. This is a happy time of year. We don't have to give JJ the time of day.
I wish I had a happy Star Wars thing, but I haven't seen The Mandalorian yet. So like,
dude, okay, so I won't talk about it. It's very good.
Yeah, now that it's finished, I'm gonna binge it. But like, I'll do it all in one go.
Worth it. That's all I'll say. It's deeply worth it. It's excellent.
Adam Driver from Star Wars.
Adam Driver from Star Wars, guys.
For people asking, he's Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Who is
he's Ben Solo.
Ben Solo,
yeah. Boy, wait, one quick thing. No, never mind. We're not going to talk about Star Wars. This is a happy time. No.
Every time Star Wars comes up,
why you do this?
Like, we try to avoid it.
It's a fucking black hole, and I am at fault this time. I brought it up. We're putting it to bed.
I will say this. I think it's because it was such a big part of our lives growing up.
Yeah.
And now the feelings are really complex.
Like, the fact that I, like, in my mind have used the term "what a nerf herder" in my real, like, that's not right. As a joke, but that's just like a thing that, like, I as a fucking dweeb say. Like,
that's cringy.
Yeah, I know. I'm not excusing that.
How do you do, fellow youth?
I also like that his shirt says ABDC, like, to look like a band shit because he doesn't know what. Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna tell you guys about my holiday. If you don't mind, I'll jump in.
Yeah, go for it. How was it?
Go for it, man.
It's pretty good. I've got two kind of personal stories about the holidays I wanted to share. I thought were pretty amusing. One is, so Hanukkah's over, gang. Don't worry, we've got through it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My friend of mine, she might be really mad because I forgot that to wish her happy Hanukkah. So I don't know if she's gonna.
You can do it now. Wish her happy. Hey, happy
Hanukkah.
belated.
She doesn't listen to this shit.
Well, yeah, she's smart enough not to. I understand.
She's way smart. She's too smart for this.
She got out while she could. So I got a package for my mom for Hanukkah. Very sweet.
Awesome. How's your mom doing?
Yeah, no, she's doing pretty good. I know that it's fucking cold out there. Like,
yeah.
It's like 30 degrees below in the daytime, and it goes down. Man. It's so. I don't know if I said this last time. I have reached the point in our phone calls where I am now getting so tired of hearing like she'll ask me, so how's everything in California? Is it getting colder out there? And I'll be like, yeah, it's pretty cold. It was like 40 degrees last night. And she'll be like, oh, it was 13 degrees, but whatever. That's cute. That's okay.
You got that weather privilege,
that's like
Ian.
one of my favorite like things to put Californians down.
Yeah. Like,
it's like,
you think it's
60,
hard?
You're putting on a jacket.
You fucking punk
t-shirt
bitch! You put a t-shirt on.
Let me tell
Christian
you this
wants
now.
us to call her on stream.
He wants to what?
He wants us to call your mom on stream.
Not calling my mom. I
Sure
think she's working.
I'm not gonna do that.
I
I feel like we all lose in that one.
I think she's working right now anyway. But
I'm not gonna bug her.
So yeah, she's doing good. I'm happy to hear it. So she sent me like sweetbread. It's called babka. Awesome. And that's really good. I had it for breakfast. It's delicious. It's cinnamon chocolate, like kind of coffee cake. If you guys want, I'll send you a little bit of it. It's pretty good.
Maybe, dude. Fucking love coffee cake.
Yeah. So that's delicious. She then sent me like, the Hanukkah stuff, and not to reiterate too much, but as everyone knows, Hanukkah, 8 nights of gifts.
Yeah.
She got me like
ruler,
a really
abacus.
She got me socks, she got me undershirts, she got me thermal pants.
Yo,
like,
I need socks like really bad.
Like, where do they go, Chris? Where do they all? I'm saying this for me
I
too.
just go through them like and like, well, because especially with my line of work, like you're going through, if they're not like good socks, you're gonna just tear right through them.
You're evaporating. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And I don't know where they go. Like, I bought a big ass pack from Costco. I'm down to like one pair, and I don't know what happens to the rest of them.
I'm there with you, man. I buy socks, and then like within a month, it's like I had 17 pairs of. What is happening? And then I feel like I'm being gaslit by a ghost or something. Like
He keeps telling me no. I don't know.
Yeah, every time I wake up and I see the socks floating away, it's like, hey, shh, you're dreaming. You're dreaming.
Stop it, Ghost.
But then like the gifts started to get a little more. I'm gonna say they felt like they were sending me a message.
Oh yeah.
That is, I got 2 bars of soap, and I got 2 things of dental paste, toothpaste.
Okay.
And
did they hear about the jacket? Is that what's going on?
No, they would send matches for that one.
And they
kept hearing us complain about your BO.
And
that jacket was bad, man.
and she also sent me let's see, so soap, dental paste, socks, thermal. And then she also sent me like those Korean paper things, like you put on your face.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Face mask.
Face mask.
Face mask. Yes.
Yeah, it's not just Korean. It's like Japan does it too. I think.
Okay. Yeah. So
one of those.
So she's like, take care of yourself, but also like, are you taking care of yourself?
Are you?
I think so. I'm doing okay.
Are you eating your veggies?
You should use the face mask and then the other products at the same time. So I have the face mask on as you brush your teeth.
And then lather up with the soap, and then put on my thermals.
And then like fall in the bathroom tub as Forrest Whitaker is pointing her samurai sword in the background.
Hey
Christian
guys, I'm enjoying
thermal pants.
Yeah, like thermal pants. They're like long underwear basically that you wear under your clothes.
I want a thermal. I don't think I had my thermals anymore.
I used to wear them all the time when I was a kid, but
I
don't have any adult size.
Now I just wear sweaters, but without a shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like to be honest, I can't imagine wearing thermal clothes in LA even in winter. Usually, like it's I've yet to be that cold.
Is what I'll wear.
Yeah, nice hoodie, and then sweats.
The problem, my biggest problem too, is I love wearing jackets. But there's barely any necessary time to wear a jacket.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I love jackets, and in LA, you're lucky if you have an hour where you can okay, I wore my jacket. Now it's very hot.
It's a good jacket. Fucking love this jacket.
So that was my Hanukkah thing. Right. I actually had a Christmas story I wanted to share with you guys.
Okay.
I'm so excited to tell you about.
Wait, what was in that box thing that you said?
It was thermals and it was thermals
everything.
And
okay.
That was everything. She shipped it in one big ass box.
Oh, but she's open these up in this day.
And then each was wrapped in wrapping paper, and she's like, "Yeah, just open them a day."
Did you do the menorah this year, or did you even bother?
All right, what?
The menorah.
Yeah, it's okay. What? We didn't do the menorah. We didn't do the menorah this year. No.
Well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry. I left it in storage. But listen, I'll listen.
I know so many people who don't do it. They don't even
It's fine. Don't worry. You're not alone in your mistake.
I celebrated by eating fried food. That's a great Jewish tradition.
Oh, hey.
I had donuts.
Fuck yeah.
This is for our people.
That's what they wanted.
Did you tell the donut shop owner?
I said it very firmly to the donut shop attendant.
This is what they would have wanted.
Oh no, Chris went dark.
What happened?
All right.
Chris is in the shadows now.
Shoot.
Did Chris get banished to the shadow realm?
Oh, there we go.
Is that going to show up? on stream. Oh God.
Yeah, no, Chris, what are you doing?
All right.
Wrong thing. Holy shit!
It just kicked me the fuck out. I don't know what happened.
Oh well, censor all that. Don't look at that. Hey, what's that?
Don't look at that.
Oh, don't look at it. Who is that? That's nothing. Don't look at that. What is the what? No, don't worry about that. Don't screenshot that. Thank you.
Pay no mind.
Don't clip that.
Fucking.
God.
I don't think you can anymore.
Damn it, Discord. Man.
We really had a lot of hope in you, Discord, and you're really letting us down.
Yeah, I gotta have like a kill button or something ready. You know.
Okay, so Ian, what is your?
No, just in case Discord goes down at some point.
Oh, okay, for sure.
The give up button.
Yeah.
All
right, I think I got it. All right, my bad. Sorry, everybody.
No worries.
I don't know what happened.
Your...
It just came out of nowhere.
All right.
So this happened a few like earlier in the month. I had to. So my roommate's still kind of recuperating, so I'm driving them places as needed. And we went down to her. We had to go down to her office to physically pick up something. So went down, we picked up something, and a part of her recuperation is like taking walks. Like, it's really good for her. Really good for her. So I was like, "Hey, we're pretty close to the neighborhood I grew up in. Do you want to pull over here and take a walk over here?"
No.
And she was like, "Yeah, sure. We'll take a walk over here."
Oh wait, was it your neighborhood or like?
No, it was where where we grew up.
Where
we're us.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, dude, you should have fucking told me. I would have given the grand tour.
We done the grand tour. That's where the raccoon ripped his neck off. Yeah. This is where a homeless man died. Yeah, we do the whole thing, man.
A couple buddies would throw rocks.
Pretty good rock throwing over here.
This is where that dad got arrested on the lawn, shirtless, in front of 6 kids, and it was fun.
I remember that. I do remember that.
This is the second fire hydrant that has been replaced in this spot.
Oh yeah.
Also, by the way, downtown, we were walking down Main Street. It's not called Main Street, but you know what I mean.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I know where it is. Yeah.
They put in a bunch of statues, which I do not recognize. Horrifying ass, like a banana man, like a horrifying
banana man.
Have you seen this?
Yes, I have seen it. I love it. I love every moment of it.
I don't go out, dude. I don't want people to see me. If I do go out, it's nighttime.
I like to think at night he comes to life and walks around.
That's so horrifying to me. I can't describe to you. It's like a banana peel that has feet and has roller skates, but it's bare feet into roller skate wheels.
Yeah, so and did it help her back when she saw it? She had to straighten up.
That definitely did help her back. Yes. So we're walking at night and we're coming down the block. And I start to tell her about the house at the end of the street that would win all these awards. I think we've talked about the house on the show before.
Yeah, the Christmas house?
Christmas house, yeah. And I was kind of, you know, when you're telling the legend, the tale, you kind of give it your all. You kind of gussy it up a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of just gotta let it happen.
So she's like, "It can't be that bad," and I'm like, "Dude, it is the most garish."
They did it before Thanksgiving this year.
Oh my fucking god! Yeah. It's like, and I'm talking about like, it's so fucking ugly. It has no theme. It's just like bullshit all thrown out there to assault your eyes. And somehow the city has given them awards for it. I don't know.
They've changed lives.
Yeah, they've apparently really rocked people's lives. So we're coming down the block, and we see that, and we come upon the house, which is like a ball of light in the darkness because it is decked out in lights everywhere. It's so assaultingly bright and flashing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "You don't got a problem with epilepsy, right? Because this is gonna get intense." And so we come upon the house, and again, I have told her all this stuff on the walk before we get there. And, you know, they've got Looney Tunes and Disney characters and the Grinch and
it's everything.
and 4 Santas and all of it.
Yeah, and the Four Horsemen, Knights of the Round on this roof.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't do the roof this year because straight up they're getting old, and they're not risking climbing the roof anymore.
This is gonna play into the next part of the story, my guy.
Gotcha.
Oh my god. So we walk around. She's like, "Wow, this family is clearly like dedicated. This is their thing."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, they're like really into it. Clearly, they've been doing it since I was a kid."
Uh-huh.
And so while we're there, like some dude in like a 4x4 kind of pulls up in the road, and he kind of peeks out and he's like, "Man, those people must be whack, right? That's so much." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a lot, man. They really like Christmas, I guess."
Whack.
Yeah, and he's a what I would describe as like an Izod kind of guy. He wears like those.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's like a step below Patagonia, man.
Yes, yeah. And so we kind of linger for a little bit, and we're like, okay, this is good. We're gonna walk back to where we parked, and we'll go home. And as we're walking back, like the guy we saw a few moments earlier is like crossing through, and he's like, "I tricked you. I own this house. This is my house. I live here." And he's so excited. And I'm
so
like,
I think that's the son.
Oh, is it?
I believe so, because the actual like, well, he helps out. I know he's helping out this year,
right?
Because I saw him with his kids doing it.
Yeah.
But it's like it's an older couple. They're not that old actually. I'm saying
they're maybe I'd say
they're 40s or
50s maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy was really nice. He was very, very nice.
Yeah. I don't want to say his name. But yeah, he is.
Would you know his? Yeah, he was very.
We
nice.
all know.
And he like talked to us for a little while, and he like walked through the whole like, yeah, my grandpa started this whole thing, and he did this and that. And he's like, yeah, we would even like my dad would dress up as Santa and like do this and that kind of event. And slowly through it, my roommate kept looking at me like, I fucking hope he didn't hear all the bullshit you were fucking talking while we were walking down the street. And he was like, yeah. And then he, in the middle of this, was like, and I said, yeah, there's usually like reindeer up there. And he's like, yeah, Dad's not feeling as good anymore, but he loves it, so we had to keep doing it. And I was like, oh, cool. So I shit all over your dad's thing he loves. Cool. Cool.
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. They're really nice people.
They're very sweet people.
Yeah, they're really nice. Like, they're really nice folks, and they make the thing about those decorations is like 90% of them are made by hand.
Yeah,
that's the part I think Pete that never gets like into people's head.
Yeah, everything you see they made themselves, or like they had the sun
except like maybe the lights.
Out.
And so,
but even some of the light fixtures, like that's them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. So at the end of this, like they were very sweet, they were very nice, and the man was like, listen, because of COVID, we're probably not going to be able to do this kind of thing, but listen, if we do this next year, y'all got to come over and see the kind of stuff we really get to do when we have like community events through, we do with our church and we do with our community.
Yeah, they do.
And I was like, what?
Oh, no, I make it a point to go over there whenever they do the Santa Claus thing so I can go talk to them. They love it. And they love it.
They love it, and they really and what I took away from it is how much they love what they do for the people around them, like the kids and that kind of thing. And so I went away with my heart having grown 3 sizes.
Yeah,
and I learned
shitting all over.
And how was your friend's back at the end?
You see, the twist
Did
is,
she go
I
give
knew.
Her a piece of shit?
Yeah, she did, and she's right to say that. You're just like, why are you such a bitch to that nice old man? Why? that nice old man who was like an inch away from asking us to stay for dinner.
Yeah. Oh, he probably would have.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? It's not my holiday. Calm down.
Dude, I met their grandkid. They literally came over to the house when their grandkid was only, I think, 3 days old. And they were like, look at our grandkid. Like,
oh my gosh.
Nice.
So,
and I felt so bad because I worked nights during that time. And so they came up, it's like afternoon, no one's home. And I'm I just woken up and it's like 3 p.m.
Right.
I'm like, oh man, that's cool.
I'm like, oh, look at that.
They probably thought I was like wasted or something.
Yeah.
Wow, 3 a.m. and this guy's already on it. Wow. Yeah. So the moral of the story is I'm bad and they are great. And that's my Christmas story.
Wait, so how did your okay. How did your roommate feel about the statues?
Wait.
Statues are way more interesting. Like
the carved wooden things. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, in Main Street.
Or the statues on Main Street. Oh no, she was fucking horrified by that. She was because this seems to be. She did say the banana one seems to have a foot fetish implication. Like, why is it bare feet? Why is it bare feet with wheels to rollerblade on? Nobody wears rollerblades like that. And then there's like one of like they've also put up like nutcrackers all over the place.
Yeah, those show up every year.
That's I didn't remember the nutcrackers necessarily, but
at the very least they've shown up the past couple of years. Maybe not every year.
Oh, okay. And then outside there's a Cuban bakery pretty close, and there's like a child statue, and that one is. I don't know what that signifies. Is just a child on its head, and it's
innocence.
It's innocent. You remember when you did handstands when the world was easier?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, I learned a Christmas lesson this year.
Sure fucking did, dude. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could get like. I'll just have to settle for being a good person.
Oh, oh no, you just have to be like really nice all the time. Well, you know.
Let's see, what are some other landmarks that would be off the beaten path? Did you show her Jizz house?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, do you not remember the Jizz house?
Wait, you don't know about Jizz house? That's like a history right there.
There's no way I wouldn't.
We could have brought it up.
Yeah, there's no way I would not have shown you, right?
Maybe
like the house where it smells like jizz, like in the summers.
Okay. Yes. Yes. This does. Yes.
For those who don't know, there's a house in our neighborhood, around our neighborhood, a couple blocks away, that I used to walk by when I walked home from school, and during especially the really hot days. You could smell this, what I could only describe as the fresh smell of jizz, like blocks away, like houses down, and like it took us forever. And people thought I was like making that shit up, so I would bring friends over just so they could walk by it, and they would go, "Oh, holy shit, man, you're totally fucking right." And
they thought you were just being gross.
Pinpointed the house. You finally pinpointed the house. And we don't know for sure, but because in order for this to work, it would have to be in their backyard. Our prevailing theory, like even now, I haven't walked by it during a hot day yet. In a while, quite a while, like years. Our prevailing theory now is there's a tree, apparently. And I think it's like native to Washington or like that area, that when it blooms in the summertime, it smells like jizz.
Yeah.
And this is the only explanation we have. We don't know for sure because there's no tree in their front lawn that resembles that. So it has to be in their backyard or something.
Let me yes and your hypothesis.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, I have a million hypotheses, but that's the most likely theory.
I had a friend who lived in like a pen pal of mine who lived in like the Bath area of England.
Okay.
And he had told me that there was this tendency for parks in England that when you went to them in the heat of July in summertime, parks smell of jizz.
It's probably the same tree.
And I don't know what the tree looks like, but I'm gonna say that it is some type of tree that smells like.
It has like lavender flowers or something.
It is potent, apparently. It is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, like houses down. Like I don't know how people put up with that shit.
You know what's here's a worse theory. Let me add on to your onto your.
Let me yes and add.
Okay, I found the tree.
Have you? What's it called?
Literally on Google, if you type in like tree smell, the first thing that comes up is like sperm.
Okay.
Because it's a common phenomenon. So the tree is from a flowering deciduous tree called Pyrus Calliana. Okay. Best known in Australia as a pear tree.
Oh.
So
they grow pears on them?
They're fucking pear trees?
No, they're one of those like ornamental where it's like they grow the flowers.
Yeah.
But they don't grow the actual fruit.
Yeah,
they don't
bear it to like germinate and all that.
Germinate, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a plant that reproduces sexually, so it needs to pollinate the pear, the female pear, so you get the fruit, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah, that's one way to put it. Yes, but yes, the common smell is it smells like very potent semen and or vomit every spring to summer.
Oh, cool! So you could get jizz or barf. Cool.
One or the other.
I was gonna say, like, if that tree was planted there before the homeowners bought it, what horror of horrors is what the couple that bought the house and they're like, oh yeah, this house. Yeah, this is what I want.
This is the house.
Yeah. In the U.S., they're called Bradford pear trees.
Okay.
Bradford pear trees.
Bradford pear.
Oh,
interesting.
But yes, these pictures are. Oh man, yeah, that's the one. That's the one, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Put it in the chat so I can see it.
Ooh, that's a bright tree. Damn.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it must be in their backyard or something because nothing looks like it in the front.
Right.
Yeah, I used to see trees like this all the time growing up. Yeah, I would sometimes like cover my nose because then like it's pretty potent and like it can get pretty bad.
Well,
that's
I feel like we've learned.
And that's a spot to take.
Take my roommate. You want to? Hey, I'm gonna walk you down here. Tell me if you smell anything interesting.
Yeah.
I will do that next time. I promise. Oh my god, that's wild, man.
That's
wild. Yeah. Do you guys want to just jump ahead into? I'll just wrap up with any of the stuff I've looked at. And
go for it.
Go right ahead.
So just really quickly, like I mentioned, I won't say any details about it, but Mandalorian is excellent. I just finished it yesterday.
Gotcha.
And I cannot wait to see. Disney already announced all the other kind of slate of projects.
Yeah, it was like a big thing. I don't even think I've read them all.
I'm really excited for Diego Luna's character from Rogue One is getting his own series.
Yeah, that I do know about, which is great.
Andor, I believe, is what it's going to be called. Which, oh man, he just posted a picture of the tree, and I'm like, I recognize that tree. I've seen that tree when I was growing up. I know, yeah. So yeah, that's excellent. I'm very excited for what comes next. The pre-production for Knives Out 2 is going to start soon.
Oh, great.
Which
wait, what's the
I don't
sequel
know.
Even?
It's just going to be another mystery for Benoit
Okay.
Blanc to solve.
Gotcha.
Like, new characters, presumably a new cast. Everybody is. It's not official, but apparently they're interested in having Maggie Smith be in it, just because Maggie Smith was in all the like Poirot and the Miss Marple mystery movies.
Yeah.
So that would be a really cool callback to the classic murder mysteries.
Oh yeah. Nick, you should still check out Knives Out if you ever get a chance.
Oh, have you not?
No.
Oh wow,
it's an easy watch. Like it's pretty entertaining, like throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
But also, there's just some really good fucking lines in there.
It's such sharp writing. It really is impressive. It's excellent, and it's great character work also.
Yeah.
All the actors just kind of get to really
be that character.
Like, yeah, you get to really like. I particularly love Toni Collette basically playing Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Like, excellent. So that's currently been in production, and I just started a new sci-fi novel. And I'm really enjoying it, guys. So it's a book called Axiom's End. It's by Lindsay Ellis, who she does YouTube.
She's great.
And hey, the book's pretty good so far. I'm really enjoying it.
I believe that's on my list.
It's got blurbs from actually a few cracked writers, like David Wong is talking about.
Well, that's how I found out about Lindsay Ellis. Was I think David Wong talked about her.
Okay. Yeah.
Plus, I think I follow her on Twitter, and she's pretty funny. So
she is a very funny.
Actually, not just pretty funny. She's actually very funny. Pretty funny makes it think like I'm reading. I go, huh.
She's gotten me to chuckle aloud at this book. It is very. Let me also say this: the book is set in it's sci-fi, but it has alternate. Excuse me. It has alternate history qualities.
Yeah.
So it's set in 2007, and when I initially found that out, I just kind of thought, is that gonna read? Do you know what I mean? Like, is 2000
feel like it?
well, like I don't know. 2007,
up, dude.
It doesn't feel super long ago, is what I'm saying. Like, is it gonna feel like a period piece? It's fucking long. It's 13 years ago, but a lot has happened. I
was about to say,
years.
Ian. So many fucking things have happened since.
I know. I was shocked at how like, oh yeah, this would not happen now. This is a different world.
Yeah.
2007. So like also like just the way that the internet functions, like we were all on it, but the internet was a different place in 2007.
Yeah, it was definitely more. It was a little bit more Wild West with like, where now the internet's really like corporate run. But or at least like the main websites are all corporations and all that, rather than a bunch of people making like their own shit.
Oh, I agree. And I mean, back in 2007, you could make your YouTube channel like a MySpace. Like you could customize it and give it skin.
It was easier.
It was much easier to do that kind of stuff.
There was a time when YouTube was kind of punk. Because that's where you would go.
YouTube is, and I mean, I remember early YouTube also being a place where like, well, this I found out after the fact, but I remember hearing a lot of people be like, I never watched like Invader Zim is one I heard a lot, but then I saw it on YouTube and I just watched like the whole show for free on YouTube, and it was like,
yeah,
it's too bad. And I think YouTube became kind of a medium for like, yeah, I never got around to that, but like, hey, that was pretty good. Heroes? Do you guys remember Heroes?
Yeah, I remember.
So
I think the
enjoying
first Let's Plays were happening around that time, if not earlier.
Oh yeah,
I gotta check Slow Beef, and I gotta check when Slow Beef started because he's the grandfather of it all.
Slow Beef and that Irish guy who screams. Yeah, all of them would have been Jacksepticeye. Would have been earlier, I believe, earlier days of the internet. It's a great book, and it's got some kind of so far it's got a lot of Asimov qualities to it, just in that
right
it's
where
really
they just take the
in,
one concept and like really like we're gonna dig into it. Like
yeah, and it's
one idea, but we're gonna fucking we're gonna talk about every aspect of it.
and also that it's so grounded. It's so grounded, and so it makes the fiction part of it feel more real by, I don't know, like, well, if there is space travel, then what's like the economic reality of, is it easy or is it hard, and like how expensive it is to actually send people to space? How expensive is the fuel? What is the economic reality of finding the fuel and keeping that system going, and that kind of thing? So
so I'm sorry, real quick, because I have a question about it. Because this is definitely one I've been eyeing for a while since it came out in July of this year.
Yeah, it's brand, yeah.
So is this the one where it's the about like an alternate reality with the whistleblower?
It is, yes.
07?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think Lindsay Ellis has said more or less that the whistleblower character is ostensibly just Julian Assange. It is a Julian Assange character about like a lot of the book. I mean, they're just kind of getting into it now, but the idea of what is the morality of being a whistleblower, of having a transparent government, this and that. And I think that's probably one of the more weighty questions that the novel actually starts to get into.
Yeah. Like the actual thesis of the novel
is more so about like what is transparency, what's going on. Also, I did have one thing kind of thrown a wrench at me, which is in the book, because things have diverged slightly in this timeline. There is a point where President Bush resigns, and so we live in a timeline where President Cheney was in charge of the country for
a while.
Oh man, this is a horror book. Now.
Okay, so this once came up at my work. People forget how fucking bad it was. Like,
I think so. Yeah, I agree.
Like,
and like,
go ahead.
Oh boy, dude, that was a scary time.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's still fucking scary. But like,
yeah, I remember. Well, it's funny because I actually remember there were a lot of videos. I think one of the early political videos on YouTube was of back-to-back videos of Bush running his campaign and versus Obama running his campaign for their first year.
Yeah.
And what it ended up showing was that they both were reusing the same writers, or like the ghostwriters for their speaches.
Yeah.
So they essentially were saying the same thing, and the idea was that how much things were repeating itself.
I mean, I would say that there is probably a lot more. There was probably a lot more that was just a rehash with a different kind of face on it that people didn't notice from the Bush and Obama years.
Because people forget, man, Bush was like a smooth talking guy, like before he went to office, and then he became the butt of a joke when he was in office.
Well, I think that a lot of people do like his allure. What people said that people did like about him, and people did like him for a very long time. He was very liked. Was, well, he just seems like a folksy dude. Like the phrase was, "I could drink a beer with him." Yeah. I cannot get out of my mind.
I remember that.
Being an 8 to 10-year-old and hearing that was the selling point of, well, I could probably chill out with that guy. He seems, down to earth. And it's
I drink with some people, and I would never want them to be in charge of anything.
That is the
like if there's anything I've learned.
I can't remember the comedian who it is, but there was a comic who did a great bit about listen, I've got great friends I love to drink with, but I don't put them in charge of the barbecue. They're allowed to be at the barbecue. But then that guy always has too much, and then it gets weird, and then it's he kicks over the grill and he's like, they're attacking us now. And then
True. As someone, this is just a little bit of a side, but this just reminded me. As someone who has hosted barbecues and has done the cooking and or drinking with the help of like close knit friends, or at least friends I know are good at cooking and all that.
Yeah.
And it's something I haven't quite integrated yet, but one of the best pieces of advice I ever got for hosting one of those things was to have a fire pit, simply because, well, the real thing you want to have a clear, clear danger, but that's also controllable as long as you don't do anything stupid.
Right.
So in a fire pit is the best way to do that. Right? Because everyone wants to be kind of close to it, but you don't want to be falling in and burning and dying, right? So people take a little bit more responsibility.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Anyway, that's a little advice for anyone hosting a backyard barbecue. Not now, but
in the summer.
It'll happen. It'll happen one day.
But yeah, book's good.
Yeah, I'm liking the book pretty good. I'll let you guys know as soon as I'm done with it, probably by the next one of these. But
yeah,
it's got good promise.
Yeah, I'm gonna start linking everything on Discord so you can get back to it.
That's a good idea.
Interesting.
That's a good idea.
That will also help me. Maybe I'll make some notes too for the podcast. I'm here's what we talked about. What was I going to say?
The Bradford pear tree.
Last thing I want to say about that era is people always tend to view the era they were teenagers in as the best era or the best decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With the 80s, which was 40 years ago, and the 90s, which was 30, and being yeah, that was the era, right? And I look back at the aughts, and I go, the aughts were fucking trash, dude.
Yeah, they were.
Holy shit.
So it's also very strange because the aughts as cultural touchstone, as much as the 90s was deconstruction, at least I feel like the 90s had a thematic through line. The only thing I can say about the aughts as a thematic through line is terror.
Yeah.
War on Terror.
The War on Terror, and then
Project Freedom.
all the horror movies were kind of not so subtly about terrorism or the fear of attack. Or
I remember me and you. That was me and you were having the realization of horror movies reflecting society as they came out.
Yeah,
and just what the real scariness was. And now it's now the terror is something you don't know.
Yeah.
The most amount would be now, but
the most amount of war movies I've ever seen come out consecutively.
Oh well, that's when the government really stepped up their funding of movies.
Yeah,
for propaganda purposes.
And the quality of Marines commercials went way up.
Yeah.
Every Super Bowl.
Navy, Marines, Army. I remember even watching Adult Swim. I'd stay up late and sneak in, but they would play they would barrage that channel with it, and they knew they were hitting young adults. They were hitting teens.
That's when I think the recruitment office opened up across the street from our high school.
Hmm. Yeah.
Was I think around that time?
Did they have guys actually show up at lunches?
Yes.
For you?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
They even had it at my college.
Really?
Colleges, it happens more often. High school, I think I can remember once or twice a year.
And they were always there at city colleges. And apparently the one I was at when I was young, apparently they were like the same guys going around community colleges around the same counties. So.
Oh yeah, Nick, they're salesmen. Like, it's the people that can pitch, man.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's really, it is, yeah, man. It is grim. I remember being freaked out because they got my number somehow, and I remember getting a handful of phone calls like, "Hey, is Ian in? Does he want to talk about an opportunity to get like a college scholarship?" And that's how they framed it. Is like, oh, he could get a college scholarship. Well, that sounds good.
They don't frame it as you're going to war. You're like, they frame it as.
Oh yeah, I had that because if you sign up for certain community colleges, they'll put your number down at the same time for recruitment offices that they're affiliated or like funded with. So I think it was like every Christmas, every time around the holiday, I get the same call.
Yeah.
For every time I was at that college every year. Yeah.
Yeah, community colleges. I mean, we've talked about this before. Community colleges are the main target, but Cal State's it happens too because they're aiming for, kids with lower income, people need financial help.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
they're easy targets.
And if they can hit you at 16, 17, 18,
oh dude,
that's a prime time for them.
They got you. Oh, hang on.
One moment.
Good thing. No worries.
Sorry about that.
That's right. But yeah. It's
horrible shit.
It's really insidious. And then just to kind of close off the thought that we had started earlier, with all those, I agree, war movies that we saw a glut of in the aughts. It also fed into the thing that we talked about when we talked about BoJack, which was you could not point out like, this seems weird, right?
Yeah,
this is a little strange because the conversation was so sharply framed as, well, we just support what they do.
Yeah,
and that's all we're saying. Because they're good.
That's all we're saying.
And that's because they're good. What and if you well, no, I think this is worth critique. Listen, if you're critiquing them, then you're critiquing the best part of what it is to be like, I don't know about that.
Well, that's what you do. That's what it is, right? Like
it's guilt. You guilt people by taking
you try to manipulate what the best part is, so that if you disagree, you're disagreeing with the best part, not what the actual intention is, right? Like,
remember that scene in Clerks 1 when the cigarette guy came in?
Yeah. I fucking love that scene, dude.
So instead of a cigarette, imagine the U.S. Army.
Yeah.
That's what was happening. If you were against them, then hey, you must have been against the. It was, again, you were questioning the unquestionable war. That's what it was called.
Yeah. And I mean, it's and then and then it goes into like, I have a lot of thoughts about the guy in particular, but it is just as a comment for the specific moment I'm going to mention. Mm-hmm. The moment where Michael Moore went and talked at the Oscars and was like, no, I don't think this is a good idea. And then basically got like the entire town of Hollywood to like say, you fucking hate this country. They booed him off the stage. Like, listen, guys, I'm not necessarily saying I'm defending Michael Moore as a person, but in that
still problems.
Still problems. But in that specific instance, like, that's a fucking intense response, everyone.
Sure is.
Like, yeah. Man,
that makes me more mad. I can't talk about Spec Ops: The Line because I feel like it would tie perfectly to when we go on these topics. But
I feel like we can go on about this kind of stuff forever.
Yeah.
But let's
probably move on.
Let's move on. Because one, we're no big political experts, so we are pretty like we probably know a lot more about like stuff that was going on than like maybe most people have put the time into, right?
Right.
And that's no fault of their own. It's a system designed to make it hard to know what's
obscure
like,
and
make it just you have to work for it in order to like really understand or kind of get an idea of what was going on. But two, the odds sucked, man. Like anyone who's got like nostalgia for it, I like some good metal came out around that era. There was a revive in thrash. I know that zines were a really good thing to come out of that era. And then kind of just died, which kind of sucks. I mean, they're kind of experiencing a resurgence now.
Yeah. Do a decade review.
You've kind of got to look out for them, but zines are here and there. And there.
I would argue there's starting to become a thing going on right now, but it's still not like a big cultural thing yet.
Yeah.
There's stuff, man, but like fuck, the odds sucked.
What a grim ass time.
And just a lot of the cultural stuff was just trash. Like anyway.
One last thing and we'll move on. One last thing and I'll move on.
Yeah, what have you been going through?
I've also been going through this new musical phase.
Okay. Clang, clang, clang. Well, I probably shouldn't sing on Twitch.
Oh, no, not musicals. Like I'm going through a new like music taste, I should say.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Have fun with this.
Been listening to rock and roll from Zambia, and
from
it's
Zambia,
really...
hell yeah.
Have you guys seen it? So it was on YouTube, and I found this like mini doc on Zamrock of the 1970s.
If this is what I'm thinking of, hell yeah, hang on. Yeah, Zamrock, right?
Zamrock, yeah.
Okay, hang on. I swear to God, if this is what I'm thinking of, you're in for a treat, dude.
Okay, let's do it live.
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it's sonic. It's such a great sound. It's so easy to listen to, and it like, I mean, obviously, like several of the musicians pull in percussion and wind instruments that are kind of traditionally African, very, very old school, kind of folky sounding from south parts of Africa, like Zambia and Nubia. But like largely Zamrock is also influenced by kind of the British colonial trends that had just ended in the 60s. So
they were huge. Like Jimi Hendrix was a huge like influence on a lot of that stuff.
And so many of these musicians were kind of pulling Purple Haze and that kind of like psychedelic sound into it.
Witch, that's the band. Fucking Witch.
I was just gonna say, Witch is so good. Witch is excellent. I would also recommend there's an album called Salty Dog by a musician. I'm struggling to remember. I think you can find it on YouTube.
The musician Salty Dog.
A musician Salty Dog. Yeah. Salty Dog was very good. That one's pretty, kind of acid rock, very, like 60s kind of stuff. I mean, that's really it. I have to say is go try some Zamrock, guys. It's real good stuff. Yeah. It's some great art, and so in the documentary they do kind of cover how Zambia was hit pretty hard in the 80s by that pandemic that happened as far as HIV.
Yeah.
But the silver lining to it is there are quite a few musicians who did carry on and they survived through that time, and they're still making music today in Canada and parts of the UK.
Yeah.
And they're doing great stuff, guys. Really worth listening to. Great.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I guess there's a resurgence kind of going on right now.
Yeah.
Or like they're coming back to the main, or like they're coming back into the zeitgeist, I guess would be the best way to put it.
So what I wouldn't say this is entirely on them, but there's a record shop in Silver Lake here in LA, and I guess they bought the rights to like some Witch and Salty Dog and a few other Zam bands. And they do distribution for those bands now in vinyls.
Okay.
And that kind of picked up a big resurgence in interest in Zambia rock and roll.
Yeah.
So
for anyone looking for their stuff, you can find it on Bandcamp.
Oh, tight. Yeah,
so,
nice.
Witch's 3 albums are on there, I believe. Yeah.
Nice.
At least that were brought to record. I think they made more, but
well, yeah, they did say that quite a few of their songs are just kind of lost because they never ended up getting a recording deal. They were just touring bands. But of the bands that did record, you can probably find quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So the way I heard of Zamrock, was I remember an article. I want to say it was like Cracked, and I think I was like, this was early teens, but it was about a music movement going on, and for the love of me, dude, I can't like fucking remember what it's called, but it's a metal scene in South Africa, and well, just actually Northern Africa, mostly, right? Anyway, no, like whatever. It's in Africa, a lot of places, but it's these guys who would just wear just all leathered out, like heavy leather jackets, big like boots, that were almost like cowboyish.
Okay.
Leather pants, very Motorhead inspired. And I think it was a deviation of Zamrock, but it's really like it's more thrash,
heavier.
Yeah, and it was kind of more hardcore because in the sense that it's fucking hot over there.
Yeah,
and they're out in like these deserts wearing all leather, so it was kind of like a sign of like, oh, don't fuck with these guys.
Well, we look what we do to ourselves.
Yeah, look what we put ourselves through. But those, God, I wish I can remember the fucking band's name. There's some sick ass tunes. If anyone finds out, let me know. Because that scene had some pretty cool shit.
Those are some hardcore cowboys you've just put in the chat right there.
Well, that's like, wow. But that's how I heard about Zamrock. Zamrock's great. Which is phenomenal. Like,
which I would say belongs in the rock pantheon along with.
Oh, they definitely do.
Along with,
I think they're like a musician too. So like, people who love music will know who they are, but yeah, they definitely deserve more recognition all around.
Death metal cowboys. This is some rabbit hole stuff I'm gonna go down later.
There's a very famous photo that once I see it, I instantly recognize. Yeah, that's from that music scene. But yeah, no,
these dudes
that's cool, man. Zamrock's good shit.
Come on. That's the main points for my last month. But this dude looks like Darth Vader. This is so cool. So what about you two? What's up with your month so far?
I don't have much to talk about, Nick, so I'll go last. Just for when Ian has to have the heart out. So if you want to go,
yeah, for sure.
Oh, remember we still got to take questions, so let's try.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So my Christmas thing. I mean, since last recording, had like a quote unquote last week at work.
Yeah.
Because around the area places were shutting down. So
yeah, I think the last recording I had just gone my place had just gone shut down.
Yeah, so it happened to me of this recording a couple weeks ago. So before that, when everything was shutting down, this ties into the Christmas spooky stories we were trying to tell.
Yeah, spooky Christmas, best Christmas.
So I kind of talked about the story offhand, and it became this running thing where I hear other stories about it, but then it happened to me. So then comes my take on it. So I think it was the second to last day of work where literally every night I would close up the back of the kitchen at this restaurant.
Oh, I know the story you're gonna. Okay, yeah. I love this shit.
So they always make sure that I'm always the last one to leave, given my occupation.
Sure.
So every time there's a walk towards the machines and a walk back away from the machines to get my stuff from the locker to go home after the shift. So every time I do the first walk away from the machines to punch out and then pick up my stuff, I always do the walk. I do the walk after to pass a certain, like, those doors you see in a lot of kitchens where it has the little window and it's the chrome, like, finished doors.
And it kind of swings. It goes fa 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 fa.
Yeah, it goes forward and backwards. You see a lot.
Sure.
Waiters and chefs running in and out of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened for a couple weeks prior to the shutdown, where every time I would do the walk away from the machine to the lockers, and then from the lockers towards the doors, every time I passed that door, Ian, the window would point directly to the front register for the restaurant.
Okay.
So
strange.
So every time it happened, like, I'm literally the last person there, and every time I would casually pass that door when I'm carrying my stuff from the locker and then heading out to go home for the night, I would see someone running towards the register.
What?
And I didn't think much of it at first because it could have been a lot of things. It could be, well, first of all, it could have been all the fumes getting into my head that night. It could be working 8 to 9 hours a week, 6 or 7 days straight. It could be, people front of house, bartenders,
That's
or it could
really
be
loud. Hang on, sorry.
What's that sound?
I was trying to put on spooky sound effects. I'm sorry.
God damn it. Okay.
That's really loud.
Yeah. So, it happened like literally every time I do that same walk from the lockers and then past that door, I would just casually see someone running towards the register. But I never got a good look at who it was. And it wasn't like a sprint. It wasn't like a slow walk either. It was like just like the kind of run you would make if you were having a busy day.
Oh, like someone hustling to go grab something.
Yes, a hustle, yeah.
Okay.
So, but the reason why it stood out to me the second to last day is because I knew for a fact that I was the only person in that building because everyone had to go home by a certain time except me. Because at the end of the day, I was sealing it. I was sealing everything up. I was like sanitizing everything for the back of house.
Sure.
And I knew that even the janitors were not allowed to be there by that time.
Okay.
And I remember I would leave around I remember I left around on that day, the second to last day working there, like a little bit over midnight. So I literally did the walk, and I thought this time I'm gonna get a good look at the person because there's no way anybody should be here if that person shows up. So I literally like slowly turned my head as I'm passing the silver door as I'm walking away from it, and I would see this like woman. I saw who was running, and identified as like a woman with long brown hair and then like a blue sweater on, like a blue fluffy sweater on. And then after that, I was like, okay, that's clearly someone's in this building. I have to find out who it is. So I opened the door, that same metal door, for the first time after all those weeks of seeing that person run. I went to the front register. No one's there. I went to the patio where all the second bartenders usually hang out after work. around that time. No one's there. The janitors aren't even there because none of the hoses are out to clean up the patio or the front of the house. So I would be like the only one there, and I think after that, it was like I remembered stories about what the building used to be before it became a restaurant. And apparently there were a lot of freak accidents of a lot of injuries or near-death experiences, and they even had like a certain freak accident where employees would die from negligence of machines in that same building.
Was this building like an industrial building? What was it? What was its purpose before?
Oh, before it was a Build-A-Bear place.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And then I called Ghostbusters. Yeah, I called the cops. Yeah. But for some reason, apparently, a lot of people are having quote unquote like weird experiences too. And I guess I was curious at the moment. Wait, what did the person who died in that building look like? You know, if it matched the description of who I was seeing, maybe that could be something. But that's all I've been told, at least up to that point. And then like. So yeah, second to last day, I literally saw that person, and it's only when I'm walking away from the door I see them running towards the register.
That's fucking creepy. That's really.
I'm so fucking jealous of you, Nick. That never happened to me while I was working there.
I haven't told anyone from work about this either,
so fucking cool.
Because I know by the time. I would like it because even if I was there and I told them, a lot of them were like blackout drunk by the last 2 days. So,
right.
But I just don't. I don't know what else to say about it other than that's wow.
That's cool shit.
But I remember I literally had chills because like I was thinking like no one's here and like and clearly that's someone like through, and it's always the same position in like the same time at night. For like weeks, and then when the time I get the vivid like description or like literally see a woman running towards the register, I open the door and go towards the register and no one's there, no one's in this building. I'm getting like actual chills, and I'm like, I remember after that I just like started speed walking away from the building.
Nice.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that if I was in your position, I might have like noped the fuck out. Like, just like, done. Thank you. Good night.
Christian's like, why would you check? Call the cops, you fool.
Can I ask? Did you?
What are the mouse cops gonna do, man? Whatever.
No, yeah.
Did you turn the light? Did you turn Did you turn the light off and on?
No, they're always on. I mean, I can't even turn them off if I want to. Everything's like super
true.
bright.
They're always on
in those buildings. Yeah, it's super bright, like big fluorescent lights and like bright white lights. And the people at home, just to be clear, like, yeah, you can see everything.
Kitchen. They don't turn that shit off.
No, they're always on.
Yeah.
When you went out, like when you went to investigate what happened, did you do the thing that both frightens and irritates me in horror films, which is announce yourself and let them know we're closed? Is anyone there? You can't be here now.
No, I went Ghost Adventures. I rolled up my sleeves.
Yeah, I was about
that. Ghost, where you at? Show yourself. Represent. Bitch ass ghost. Fool, you show yourself. Again, I start banging on. I got a fucking hammer. Start banging on the fucking table. Ghost, where you at? Make yourselves heard.
Make yourselves heard.
I should have gone Forrest Whitaker. I gotta fucking get that ghost on.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
Yeah, and I think Christian, you did tell us your ghost story one year.
Yeah, I remember that.
Damn, Nick, I'm so jealous that you have one because I want one.
I've gone out of my way to go like to places where I might get one, and I've yet to have one.
That's the thing, Ian. You can't go looking for it, you know?
Yeah.
It just
has to happen.
Your
Otherwise
time.
it's not a ghost story.
When it's your time, it'll happen for you.
Because you know what's gonna suck? You're gonna start that ghost story so I went to this haunted house, right? That's haunted, and I went looking for a ghost and I found
Guess
one.
what?
Turns out I was right. There were ghosts. I proved it.
I did it.
They made me their king.
All right, Nick. Do you have anything to top that story? Like that's that's good shit.
Story,
yeah, and then media wise, things I've been doing.
Taking it down.
I talked. Yeah, take it on now. So I talked about this artist before, music wise. The Caretaker.
Yeah, that was the last.
Kind of like.
Yeah.
So I went through his the rest of his albums discography.
Are they as long as the one you recommended?
No. Like they're like.
I bought that album, so it's good to listen to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, but it's like 6 hours long.
Yeah. So all I'll say is that he's an absolute genius. Is the short answer. The Caretaker. I've been such a huge fan of, in general. Like I've had a love for ambient music or like anything like drone for a long time. I think it started like right into college when I just got out of high school.
Was Green Kingdom like the one that got you into it, or like?
It was.
I know I knew he was your favorite for a while, and for good reasons. He's amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was Green Kingdom. It was Helios. It was Pearl and Cineas. My favorite album before Everywhere at the End of Time by the Caretaker was The Ocean of Sound, which is a collaboration with Pearl and Cineas. And when that came out in 2016, I was gushing about it like all the time because I fucking loved it. But this one ended up. Everywhere at the End of Time ended up taking the cake for my favorite album of all time, like in general, because I don't think you can get an experience anywhere else in any medium with the with that album. And I would compare that artist's attempt with that album without spoiling it as much. I'm kind of teetering honestly at this point. I would compare it to what's his name, Tazekuchi Pursuit with Res Infinite. He uses the medium of video games to pursue like synesthesia. He was using it as a vehicle to like
vibrate.
So I think it's that same
like
feeling.
One of my favorite game directors ever. Like
absolutely, or in that like they use the medium to express their art and like in the best way possible you can only have in that media. So I felt that same way with this album, so I wanted to pursue the Caretaker's other discography. So he actually put an album right after the 6-hour album called Everywhere and Empty Bliss, which in a way is kind of like it was his last album he put out before he retired from music. So it essentially was a going away of his career and then also like his pursuit of the certain like things. Or certain like so I went through the album. I absolutely love it. Again, like I just really was blown away every time I listened to his stuff about how he uses sampling and recontextualizes it to express certain like illnesses or certain mental states that people go through in life that they can't like describe to themselves or to their loved ones with words or like make them understand what they're going through. And the fact that he's able to use samples for things that have nothing to do with it to now create them as a way to pursue that and like to kind of like give like as much as possible a understanding of these certain illnesses or certain like things people go through with their mind that they can't properly explain through words. And then the fact he's able to achieve that for this many years with each album, I'm completely blown away by. So I went through all his albums. He's now my favorite artist and album of all time, so that was really cool to go through. And then video game wise,
Chris... sorry, can I just say something about the album?
Yeah.
All right, thanks. No, because that reminds me of just this. Well, I mean, that's what art is, right? Like, for most of 90% of the time, art is an artist trying to express their emotions the only way they know how to.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, like that's a lot of the times that's the medium they choose because that's where they feel like they're expressing their ideas, their thoughts, their feelings in the way that closest resembles to how they're going.
Yeah.
And that's where they tend to find, where they feel like they're finding the most success, right? In doing so. This is just something I've been workshopping in my head. So if I'm like, I could be totally talking out my ass here. But
no, go ahead.
The reason I bring that up is because like you always see, maybe because I've been seeing it recently in like some interviews I was watching. You always see in interviews where, especially where they interview an artist, where they ask, "Hey, can you explain that in your? Can you explain this about your art or about a piece of art?" Right? Mm-hmm. And they give it to you. They give an explanation or they say something, and it's not that satisfying, or it kind of doesn't make sense to the person asking the question. Mm-hmm. And most of the time it's because, well, the reason they made that art is because that's the closest they can be to expressing their idea, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so for example, there's the famous interviews with like David Lynch, where people would ask, "Can you explain this this movie? I don't fucking know. Can you explain Eraserhead like to us?" And he would just go, "No, I'm not. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna. That's what it is."
He had one that I really connect with where he's talking about Inland Empire, and he says like very offhandedly, "I feel like Inland Empire is my most religious expression of art I've ever made." And the guy interviewing him is like, "Oh, dig into that. Explain that more." And he said, "No, I can't. No." Yeah. No, the movie is the explanation.
Yeah, that's the explanation. That's the point of that answer, right? If I think for most artists, if you could explain it, then you wouldn't be making it, right?
Exactly.
Like the reason I write certain stories or I wrote them was to explore ideas that I wanted to convey or to explore like emotions I was trying to like wrangle with, right? The only way I knew or the way I thought would help me get there, you know?
Yeah.
More than just me trying to explain like an emotion to you and it's all these vague ideas and vague concepts with and none of it's concrete because it's just in your fucking head. Or it's like an emotion. So you try to make it concrete as an explanation or is like the word is supposed to be an expression of what that is, right?
Well,
that is the explanation, is that piece of art. That's what you're going to get. And if you don't get... Oh, shit. Hang on. I think the camera just failed.
Oh, no.
Shoot. No, hang on.
Hang on. Everything cut off. Don't worry.
Getting too worked up, guy.
Oh, man. Right in the middle of the explanation. All right, let's go.
No, look at that. Who is that? Don't worry.
Fucking sick. Okay. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at here as best as I can is that a piece of art is the artist's explanation for a certain thing, right?
Yes.
That is the thing. And trying to ask him to elaborate more is you're essentially... it's almost kind of an insult, and I get that, but I know a lot of people don't understand that in the sense that, oh, you didn't explain good enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You didn't do it good enough. I don't get it good. Like,
I think
get better at the thing.
I think with music in particular, music really is capable of expressing really nuanced, really specific things. And I think that Nick, what you were talking about is this album is expressing really specific things within it. It's not general concepts like joy or sadness. It is like much more specific than that.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that is difficult for people, I'll say people like me, people who are, people who work through linguistics as a medium, is that linguistics is ultimately a logic set base of descriptors. You have to push everything through the filter of of the logic of language. But the way that people feel is not reducible in that way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I think that music as a medium, and many other art forms as well, can express things that are both very specific, but are not necessarily meant to be described with words. In the same way as if you saw a painting that made you feel a specific way, and I could sit there and just tell you what's in it, that's not the same thing as the experiential change of being there, of having the work happen. So I think that's also another way in that.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this as well. Is different mediums are for different things, and sometimes it doesn't work in a different it works because it's in the shape it's in.
Yeah. Probably like a simple analogy I can put it for people who maybe don't make art, or you just you just consume stuff. It's the difference between me telling you the plot of a movie and you watching the movie.
Yeah.
It won't be the same. I can tell you what happens. What's in it?
I can tell you what happens when Toxic Brawly comes back and fight Gogeta, but like you need to see it yourself.
But you got to see that shit yourself.
When Bio Brawly.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. And
we're getting all up in the asshole today. Let's get.
I know it's tough, and like, and I definitely waited until I finished all his work to like come to these conclusions, and then like with the caretaker, because like it was just one of those things where it's just such a hard thing to put into words, like the experience you have with it for the first time. And I remember when I tried to explain Res Infinite to people, and they thought I was having a stroke as I was explaining it.
Oh yeah, Res Infinite. I would just go. You got 2 hours. Go play it.
It's like, or like what the creator of Katamari was asked, "Hey, what's Watama about?" When
I think he would just say like friendship or something.
Yeah,
he was shrugging, and go, "I don't know, play it."
Yeah, that was my favorite. I don't know, play the game.
If you buy the game and play it, you'll find out.
Yeah.
That's
another thing. You can try to tell them what you're trying to get at, but people are going to experience things differently. So
yeah. And okay, my bad.
No, that's all I gotta say.
You can, I mean, not to just repeat myself in any way, but just like you can use all kinds of like really lovely language to kind of get at something, but it's not the same at the end of the day. Like hearing, what was it? What was that song? What was that song you told me the story behind and made me fucking get emotional?
Oh, Lonely Rolling Star.
Lonely Rolling Star.
Oh, yeah.
That song is beautiful, and you can listen to it and intuit a lot of the feelings that are in that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you just sit down and get told the story of, this is what happened, this is the relationship that's being described, like...
Yeah, you would never guess what that song sounds like.
Exactly.
The real winning part of that is that story does not match. Like, it does. It totally makes sense that that's what the song sounds like.
Yeah.
But you would never guess it.
Yeah.
That's what's going on in the singer's head.
But when you hear it, it's like, oh, there is a hurt in this.
Yeah.
That exists. And holy shit, that's gorgeous. Mm-hmm. But to just have it told to you, like, oh, it's kind of like it's a beat, it's a song that's in this time rhythm, it's this instrument, and here's the story. Exactly. Like, that is an inadequate experience of what it actually is. Yeah, man.
Yeah, for anyone who wants to have a kind of a bittersweet thing, go listen to Lonely Rolling Star from Katamari Damacy. Read the story behind it.
Yeah, read this.
Then re-listen to the song.
Yeah. It's
It'll fuck you up.
It's an amazing piece of work. It's a really good song.
Yeah, and so on the subject matter of the difference of explaining art and then experiencing it, what's interesting is that Everywhere at the End of Time, the 6-hour album, they actually have an explanation of each like phase of the album. But the issue is that because even if you have it explained to you, I do feel like in a way it's spoiling the experience, or in that it's spoiling its intention of taking advantage of you knowing so little about it. And there's definitely media that relies on you knowing at least as little as much of it as possible.
Yeah,
coming in blind.
Yeah, every piece of media is different on what it expects out of the audience.
Yeah, so I think that's why, like, when I try to talk about a lot of things I enjoy, I notice the pattern of me. If it's something that I love so much, it tends to be things that I try not to spoil as much because I want to let people experience it. So I try to be as vague in general about
you don't
my
want
feelings of it as possible. Yeah.
For other people.
So I think this album, So the Caretaker's Discography, I think, is the best example of that, where even after the explanations for each part of his work and explaining his intentions with every LP he puts out, I do feel like, in a way, it's what you read when you try to come back to this album a week later after listening to it. At least that's how it comes across to me. And even he admits he writes this stuff like literally months after he finished like releasing like the audio. So he'll write all this stuff. Like,
I totally get it.
It's a retrospect. It's in retrospect, like, oh, here's me piecing together a little bit more concretely, but listen to it and you'll get exactly the thing.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for music. And then game wise, to move on real quick, I finished Mind Controlled Elite by Superhot, which is the third Superhot game. I finished the general story, but not like they have like an endless mode, like as usual, where you can just run.
So you didn't finish it.
I didn't finish
because you didn't
the unfinishable game. Yes, no,
because it's
I didn't reach the end of the. But I will say they do it. Man, I'm blown away. They gave that game for free when it came out.
Yeah,
that's too much content. Yeah, I felt bad. Like I had to give money at one point, but that game, Mind Control Elite, it was so much fun. I already gushed about it in general, but I will say the last 2 levels, definitely do a cool job in taking advantage of the confidence you build in your game, like in your ability to play the game, or like the amount of abilities you end up having. So they end up doing cool things with that, in that they take advantage of players' confidence in their skills, or like things they developed as the game went along. And the last 2 stages, rather than challenges, are essentially the challenge is you being stripped of everything. Essentially, like you're solely being removed of everything as Metroid the game goes along.
Well, reverse Metroid.
Yeah. So they do. So yeah, there's just so much content with the game. I absolutely love that game. Way better than the first one. Well, that's only because there's more content in general. Where the biggest complaint in Superhot 1,
they had time to like fine tune it.
Oh yeah. So that one's great. I definitely got into another roguelike, One Step from Eden is called, and it's published by Humble Bundle. It's the same guys that published Slay the Spire, and essentially, Ian, it is Humble Bundle Games.
No, is Humble Games, Humble Games is their studio.
Oh, okay.
Humble Bundle's like the shop they started before. But,
oh, okay.
Yeah. The Humble Games is the actual people who make the games.
Okay. So, yeah, with One Step from Ian, it is essentially a roguelike with the gameplay of Mega Man Battle Network series on the Game Boy Advance. Yeah. So you have the 3x3 grid, you have like the red and blue tiles, and essentially has a card system similar. I would kind of argue it's similar to not only Slay the Spire, but also it's similar to a lot of the like Chain of Memories, but not in that like you use it once and you have to just forget about it.
Way.
not the Edwin liking parts, but the ones he hates were good. No, that one's super fun. At least like it definitely gameplay and then like art wise, it's up my alley. And I'm kind of like always a sucker for music that's like a lot of
makes you
like a lot like it's definitely trying to go for the early 2000s vision of the internet.
Hell yeah.
Everything's super glossy and chrome and kind of like white. Everything's like vague as possible.
What would you say is the visual style is like? Could you give me an idea what it's like?
Definitely. I mean, you can definitely tell how much like games like Cave Story influenced other artists or like for indie games. Like it was similar to that where there's this. It's sort of futuristic, but at the same time, there's like this grounded, like, in that they're characters that are wearing future armor, quote unquote, but they're in essentially forests or like terrain.
Okay.
At least the style wise. Pixel art, yeah.
Like 32-bit, I would call it, but I'm not sure.
It's 32, and even to the point where most of the mods on Steam for One Step from Eden is literally like the top mod is like rips from Mega Man Battle Network sprites that you can just throw in there.
It's the closest you're gonna fucking get.
Yeah, I will say the difficulty. There isn't really a difficulty like selection. There isn't any modes for difficulty other than the boss fights, and I end up learning the boss fights difficulty is determined by how well you're doing overall in your runs.
Oh, okay. I like that adjustable kind of learning.
Yeah. So it automatically adjusts depending on your overall like performance, quote unquote. Like it gives you all the stats by each run. And I would say this is definitely more forgiving in their punishment compared to I kind of like used to be obsessed with Binding of Isaac, so I'm kind of used to that level of if you don't know, you just don't know. You have to just write down what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that game's fantastic. Yeah, One Step from Eden, I fucking love that. Game's fantastic. It's super. That and Luminous remind me of games like you can just put an hour or two in, and it'll just disappear. Like
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So then, show wise, I mean, it's perfect time as any to watch it, I guess. I mean, I finished watching Moral Oral, so.
Really?
Yes.
Can we talk about that show?
Yes, I was trying to keep quiet about it until I finished the third season, where it clearly got canceled. You can definitely tell they got
that
canceled.
show was born to die, dude. Like that. Oh, just how much work goes into it.
Yeah, and like any Adult Swim show that gets canceled, it's the whole man. They had so much planned. Man, they could have done more with the characters. Man, it had so much potential for its story.
and like I'll be very honest. Like I only came around to that show later because when it was airing when I was a sophomore, I want to say.
Okay.
It wasn't until I was a freshman in college that I started to really appreciate it because I just thought like, it's a fucking sad show. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
Especially by the end of the second season, like, fuck, dude, everyone's fucking awful.
It is because there's like a stretch of episodes, in a row that kind of just give you no release from how oppressively sad these people's lives are.
Oh yeah, by the end of so by second season to all the way to third, there's no jokes in that. There's nothing written that's clearly a punchline except two moments, and yeah, like Ian said, at best they're like throwaway lines that could be funny.
Yeah.
And like, just every episode, it reminds me of, at least like character wise, a lot of the pacing reminds me of Always Sunny, where like the first couple, then that you can just see like how much they just ruin each other's lives and just like keeps going and going. Then by the last couple seasons, they just become caricatures of like what they were hinting at in the first couple seasons.
Well, yeah, it's essentially like season 1 is a sitcom that just does sitcom-y gags about like here's the ways in which like a deeply conservative fundamentalist Christian society is gonna fuck you up, man. Like
those parents are monsters, dude.
Oh yeah,
really monsters. And I also just remembered like they offhandedly throw some stuff out there that they don't feel the need to build on. Like even when when you're going into season 2 and they dig into systems of abuse, alcoholism, the ways in which the church has let down people, that doesn't even touch on like, oh yeah, also everyone in this town is super racist and they like have segregated the dance and they treat the Italians like, well, they're not real whites. Like it's like 50s racist. It's like it is it's a fucking it's a hard what do you think about the show? Well, you talk about the show for a little bit, well, and then I'll chime in. But what are your main kind of takeaways from the show? What do you think?
I'll definitely kind of speed around because again, I'm coming at it like literally nearly a decade when it got canceled. And like you can kind of like have this like kind of like retrospective look at it because versus people that were just watching it like as it came out week by week. I will say I remember reading after the 3rd season about what they had like 5 seasons in total plan. The 5th one was going to be the official conclusion to Moral Oral. And essentially the 5th season was going to be the main character visiting his grandfather, so his dad's dad, who was passing away on his deathbed, and then the whole conclusion was be about the character Oral realizing that he has to stand up for himself and then make his own decisions. And that's what it was supposed to be, but they never got that, so it just ends with the preacher giving out the same sermon he did in the first episode in the last episode of the 3rd season. So instead of, hey, Oral, you need to learn to stand up for yourself or like find your own identity in life, the cycle just repeats. This will happen again to someone out there a decade over and a decade after that.
Well, yeah, that's one of the roughest part because they do a plot line about why is his father such a piece of shit to everybody constantly. And also like and the really tragic thing is there are a lot of people in that show that know how toxic and terrible they are. Yeah. And choose to keep being like, I could stop, but I'm choosing to be this way. And like his like cycle of abuse from losing his mother and his father, like the grandfather that would have later come in being like essentially deliberately seeking out abuse because that was the only attention he got. It's like, oh fuck, dude,
they just didn't have time to give that positive conclusion, so they just end it with the cycle will always continue. So then, okay, so if I am asked who my favorite character is, quote unquote, in like a voice acting perspective or performance wise, I would definitely give that. My favorite performance would probably be the guy who voiced Clay, which would be the father, because
that adds it.
He does such a great job of building that tension in like someone's like in general tone. Of clearly this guy's about to snap, like that kind of feeling whenever Clay had certain dialogues or went on those alcoholic rants at the bar.
Scott Adsit is the guy who plays Clay.
Scott Adsit, oh man,
so comedy.
Man, I don't think I experienced any show that did such a great job of that, of like keeping that tension in someone's voice.
Yeah.
And
For
when they
anyone
snap,
wondering,
like
he's Baymax in Big Hero 6.
He is also Baymax.
I
Yes.
keep
He
forgetting
does a
that.
bunch of comedies, but he's Baymax. Is kind
He's
of
yeah.
people's
He's on
touchstone.
30 Rock, and he's very funny on 30 Rock. But
Oh,
yeah, yeah, man.
Oh, that's probably why. Because he co-directed and co-wrote and co-produced Moral Oral with Dino and Jay.
There you go.
Okay. And tell me about do you remember there's an episode, I think it's season 3, it's pretty late, where there's an episode that's just 4 men in the bar.
Oh, yeah.
They're all commiserating about their lot in life, and, this and that. And there's a line in that in season 1 would have been a joke, but at this point in the show, it's not played for a laugh at all, and is just like a really grim thing, where basically the three other guys gang up on Clay, Earl's dad, all the time.
Shit. God damn it! It's doing it again.
I think it's called Sacrifice.
I think Sacrifice, but and so like they're all ganging up on him in a way and letting him know like you just treats people so shitty. There's no wonder everybody hates you. This and that.
Yeah.
And Clay, and then the line that could have been a joke in a different season and is not a joke when he says it in season 3 is like, yeah, but like I'm drunk. I'm not responsible for most of the things I do.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, they're actually like just taking the logical conclusion of, what if somebody genuinely does think that? He thinks that he's not responsible for whatever happens when he's blackout drunk. Because that's not him in some way that he's justifying his behavior. It's so fucking so grim. It's such a grim yeah. The acting is excellent. I agree. I think it's some great stuff. I'm also really fond. What did you think of Stephanie?
Stephanie.
She's like the one person in the entire show.
I felt so bad. It's in season 2. Holy shit! Like, dude, like again, like some of the best voice acting, and it's definitely Stephanie Putty. It was just man, like.
and here's the other thing is like it's that thing that rides the line between, is this a joke or is this just like not at all funny? Was like her conception is like her conception was like a woman who's in love with the priest and steals his like genetic material.
Yeah.
Like that could have been a joke. It's ridiculous. But the way they frame it is, oh, this isn't funny at all. This is really sad and sick.
Yeah, she's the one who owns the sex shop, right?
She owns the sex shop, and she's like she's the only well-adjusted person, basically, in the
because
whole show.
it's supposed to the whole thing of like she's like healthily expressing her sexuality and like
how she
emotions.
feels about things, and exactly. She's not modulating for any kind of, well, like a lot of the show is also about the idea of, it's not even necessarily that you should be a good person. It's more important to seem like a good person more than anything. Like Clay's actual lessons to Oral are not how to be a moral person. It is how to be perceived as a more moral person than others, how to seem like you are holier than other people, and that is what is most important.
Oh man, yeah, and then oh man, I forgot when she realizes why what was her name, Kim? She was trying to kiss her.
It was just to make some boy jealous, yeah.
Just make some boy jealous, yeah.
It's so fucking sad.
Yeah, and then she realized that she just didn't care about Stephanie. She was just being used.
And then
by
in
someone
fact,
else.
when she says like why would you do this to me? This is incredibly hurtful. She cannot conceive of. What do you mean? We're both girls. We can't have there's no way we would even have a relationship like that. I don't understand what you even mean. But it doesn't even she cannot actually conceive of someone feeling like that.
Yeah.
What a
damn.
What a show, guy. What a show.
What a funny show. Great time. Are you sold,
Very
Chris?
funny.
You're sold. I see it. So I will say I mean, it was interesting to watch because again, like I can relate to some of the stuff happening and like the whole reputation of the community and things like that, like how your parents like try to. He's like, what was that one line Blaberta put out, which is stop crying, you're making the neighbors make me think I'm bad, like I'm a bad mother.
Bad mother. There's that. There's the one line where the father has rewritten the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
And says something like, "You remember, son, honor thy father, not mother. Father only. Just honor your father."
Yeah. God, that's fucking crazy.
It's a wild fucking. They steal a baby. They
do steal a baby.
On
oh yeah. Oh man, that one's fucking crazy. But again, like I think a lot of it relies most on the character, like the voice actors' performances with the characters that really sell a lot of like the complex like emotions they got to convey in those. They do a really good job like layering what's happening in certain scenes. I was really surprised by.
Let me say this to Chris. What's really a trip is the main character Oral. That character is being voiced by the same actress who does Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah.
Yes. At the time, she was also voicing Sandy Cheeks.
Yeah.
And like it's honestly amazing, like to see that one. Like she is acting her fucking ass off. She is acting so well in that part. Like it's wild.
Oh, she's great.
Like so I just thought like you know. And shame on me, but it's like she's on that Goofy show. She's on that goof 'em up.
She goofy.
Like how you know how emotionally resonant is this performance going to be? Very is the answer. It is really well done.
Nice.
Yeah.
But man, that's I am again like any other Adult Swim that got canceled. My ending feeling was. They ended when all the characters are at their like highest potential for like character growth, and then reading what the next season could have been or like was supposed to end in, it just bums me out. We never got that.
Yeah.
But overall, I was just more blown away by the acting and then by just how the voice actors did such a great job of showing development in these characters and like showing highly specific like emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like I was just blown away by it. And if I go from that angle versus trying to see it as a comedy, it was a great show.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I
very funny.
Hilarious.
I mean, like, and the really irritating part is like there's a degree to which I think Dino said something to that effect is like Adult Swim canceled it ostensibly because they said like they got duped. Like we bought a goofy comedy.
Yeah.
And then this got like heavy really fast. And like that wasn't the show we picked up.
Became a show.
It is an excellent drama. It's a great drama. It's animation.
Oh,
yeah.
But I'll keep it at that because I took up too much time. So I'll pass it on to you, Chris.
Okay. What did I do? Not much, quite honestly. For at least that's interesting. It's more Yakuza Like a Dragon. Guess what? That game is like fucking amazing. It's 10 on 10. It's beyond like Oh, I haven't beaten it yet. But holy fucking shit. That game. Oh, that fucking game. What else? I finished Lovecraft Country Season 1 as of yesterday.
Oh, cool. What'd you think?
That show is phenomenal. It's one of my favorite TV shows now, currently airing.
Oh, tight. Okay.
I hope. I heard they should be getting a second season or something like that.
I believe that they did get the green light on that one. So
100%. If you're a pulp nerd, if you're like a book nerd, this was written by some fucking nerds. Is what I'm getting.
Some A-class weebs.
Oh no, This is beyond, dude. These are people like
alpha weeb.
These are beyond people who just like consume pulp and like Afrofuturism and different kinds of sci-fi and like movies and all that. These are people who have like picked apart the mechanics of it and know how to make it work and twist it to their own.
Yeah.
It's that show is amazing. This show is great. Everyone go check it out. Nothing much for the holidays, man. Just been cooking a lot because I haven't gone to. Making that egg drop soup for the first time.
Made some nog yet?
No, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna make nog. It's like the recipe I know is gonna make way too much, and it's gonna go bad soon. So like, if there was a party, I'd make it.
Okay, for sure.
Because it's raw eggs. Like there's raw eggs in there.
Yeah.
I have a good eggnog, but that's gonna be. I'm gonna make a rib roast for Christmas Eve. Just bought the meat today. Gonna make some ponche for Christmas.
Delicious.
And then that's pretty much I honestly it hasn't been much. Has not been much. All right. Well, anyone got any questions whatsoever? Now's the time. Although there's only like one person watching.
Speak now.
Any question? Let me double check the socials. If you guys got a question for us, and I mean you or Nick or Ian, if you guys got a question,
sure,
you would like to ask, now's the time.
I have more so like I have a very leading question I want to ask. Yeah. I'm very excited about the new Wonder Woman movie.
Wonder Woman 1984.
That's right. Yeah, coming out the end of the week.
Okay.
So I not to brag, I read Variety because I've got time.
Oh.
Yeah. Camera, but you got
but
to Variety.
I have
Parade magazines coming to my house tomorrow.
Parade? Goodness me.
I have to find the newest fads for the season.
So I want to ask because it seems like most people are of the opinion, and I kind of agree, but I want to get your guys' take.
Yeah.
Do you think that this means bad things for the future of movie theaters, like after the pandemic ends?
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about this beforehand, but there's going to be a lot of movie theaters that are just going to be gone, right? I think AMC will survive because they're owned by Disney.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think the smaller ones. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I say that, but I also can see the mouse like axing it, right? Just axing the AMC division. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a while. Aren't they technically showing movies in theaters right now?
They are technically, yes, showing movie. Not in California, not in Los Angeles County, but there are parts of the country that are still airing. Theaters are open.
Christopher Nolan's like, go die to watch my movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, New Mutants only in theaters. Remember that?
Well, I remember that.
I think it just came out on iTunes or something.
Al Pacino, War with Grandpa. You want to watch War with Grandpa? You want to watch this? You want to watch this unknown? Yeah, die for it. Go watch this. Um,
I'm no business person. And you guys know my feelings of theaters. I personally hate going to the movie theater. Rather watch movies with like a bunch of friends at home.
Same.
If I'm gonna do the crowd thing, if not, I'm just gonna watch it on my own at like the dead of night, where no one can fucking bother me while I'm watching a movie.
I feel it. Mm-hmm. Snap.
So like it's one of those things of I don't care, but at the same time, there's people whose jobs depend on that and everything.
I'm so
like
here's
whatever.
the thing I'm thinking about in particular, that like people of the industry are basically kind of like, they're not saying it out loud, but I think that there's I think that this is what people are worried about and what I think might happen. And I don't which is essentially like, we're going to start seeing movie chains behave the way they did in the fucking like 40s and 50s. Like that is to say, AMC, they only have Disney movies. If you want to see a Disney movie in the theater, you gotta go to AMC.
Yeah, that's probably.
If you want to see a Fox, you gotta go to fucking Edwards, I think owns Fox, something like that. And then, like, if you're an independent movie maker and you want your movie shown, better be ready to sign a big contract with the big guy, because they're not going to show your movie in a theater otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is, if not possible, probable.
Oh yeah, especially with the way Disney's been like just consuming other studios,
like Microsoft,
and video games.
And I mean, I'm not saying that because I feel bad for one company getting bought by another company. They're both huge companies.
Yeah, they're not people. I don't give a shit like about their about their feelings.
It's more so just like, I hope that this doesn't fuck up like smaller projects being able to get out there. You know what I mean? That's what that's what I'm thinking about.
So, I mean, like, luckily there are platforms for smaller movies and just films as we call them, to be shown online and still make money.
That's true.
Patreon, Kickstarter exists for production wise, and or just donations often work. But yeah, that is like the big like dream, is to see your movie on like a big screen that you personally made. Take it to some festivals and some shit.
Yeah.
There's definitely got to be a more embrace of the digital aspect. So we'll see what that. I mean, I know some websites do it. Doesn't fucking. What's the? It's the string of movie theaters where you're not allowed to talk. It's really nice.
The fucking Arclight?
Not Arclight.
Man. No, not Arclight.
Starts with an L something. Like
blanking there, but
yeah, I'm blanking here, but they have their own digital thing as well. I know that. You're probably just gonna see a lot of that for smaller. It's just a more embrace of the digital side.
I think that we just need to be not like Christopher Nolan, and accept that the medium's going in a new direction, and that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't make it less special or good.
So my TV has better resolution than the fucking movie theaters by my house.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, am I gonna pay money to go watch it in worse quality?
Listen to me. I am not going to be bullied into paying $15 and smelling stale popcorn and strangers, no. I'm gonna watch it in my little movie theater, my little personal space. I got new speakers.
Speaking of Christopher Nolan, that is something I did with my week. I watched the Video Game Awards.
No, speaking of what, Chris?
Damn it.
Speaking of what?
Hang on.
So sorry.
Fuck it.
It's okay, Ian. It's okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. What the fuck was I gonna say? Movie theaters suck, and
World ain't real.
I watched the VGAs, the Video Game Awards. Yo, that shit sucked. That was like the worst one yet.
What did they award? Who got best?
Who gives a fuck?
Christopher Nolan did.
Like every year, it gets so much worse. And I try to tell myself, I'm talking about me now. I'm not talking about VGA. Every year I tell myself I'm not going to watch it this year. Fuck them. And then I do. And I regret it. It was like a 3-hour long show of nothing. Oh my! I mean, Sephiroth was announced. That was cool. That was like the only thing I cared about. Big.
That was the thing you like?
Yeah, it's a thing I liked. Sephi, Bishi. The group breastfeeding starts in 10 minutes. Sephiroth. He's in Smash, and I've been playing him nonstop because I beat the challenge. What else? I think like Last of Us 2 swept everything because of course it did. The game that was designed to win awards by crunching its staff to death won awards. So, you know, fuck this industry.
Hey,
Last of Us 2?
Yeah. Listen, so people have asked me before, hey, you should just stream like the VGAs or like these events things. I'm like, dude, you don't want to watch me doing that.
Oh, it's not fun for anyone.
I'm so fucking cynical about like the industry anyway. Why are you gonna? You want to watch that?
You want to watch us have a conniption fit?
You want to watch me going? He's fucking lying to me right now. That's not true. That's not what's happening.
Chris, what was your favorite upcoming game award?
Oh yeah, Elden Ring. Wasn't it an Elden Ring win?
But it could be canceled at any point.
That's the only mention of Elden. In fact, he says there we said Elden Ring or something.
Yeah, like there we said it. Yay!
Thank you, Doritos Pope. Holy shit! And Christopher Nolan like giving the award for best video game, best direction.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
What is this? Like it's the obsession that video game industries have for being equated, for being like a movie, is just fucking pathetic at this point.
It is.
Yeah, that inferiority complex is just.
I had like real vitriol coming out of that because it's like an encapsulation of everything I hate about, like a lot of things I hate about the industry, all put on stage.
I think that it's very funny. It's very strange to me that like video games have that like neurosis that no other art form, to my knowledge, is dealing with.
It used to be books. Books had it, but like now it's like who gives a shit.
I mean, what I would say is like novel. Like there are book awards out there. You can look at them. I don't know any writers. I don't know any publishers. I don't know of any writing institution who's like, can this be more like a movie? Why can't we make these books do it more like a movie?
Hey, like, this game, Last of Us 2, let's only have like 6 hours of gameplay. It's like a movie. You can't,
oh yeah, and it's twice as long as the first game. And also, I kid you not, Ian. At this point, the video game industry is like double, nearly triple, compared to music and movie industry in the U.S.
They're making crazy. They're making crazy money, right?
Yeah, and they still have that inferiority complex of, oh, I wasn't good enough to become a movie director, so I have to become a game director.
That's so bizarre, man. That's really, really strange.
To physically see that insecurity like displayed, having Christopher Nolan.
It's pathetic, dude.
Like, what the fuck? Like, you think they made more money than any of his movies? Like, these games have more respect than his, but they're still putting him on this pedestal. Like, he fucking, like, what the hell was that? Like, that part I was like baffled by.
Are we going to talk about the new price hike that all the games are having apparently now.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that was gonna happen anyway.
Quite honestly, it's amazing that video games are still $60.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for AAA games, it's quite amazing, actually.
Okay.
That thing was gonna happen at some point. It was just
yeah, that's like a no.
Just putting off.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
But video games should cost more for the amount of labor that goes into them.
I definitely think that the people who make them should be
hell yeah,
treated and compensated better.
Yeah.
Like the amount of crunch that I've heard about, and I know everybody listening, I know I'm not, on it with video games like these two are, but
I am gamer.
Listen, the things I've heard, like that shit shouldn't fly in this country, let alone any industry within it. Like that's wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we're celebrating it. We're giving awards to the countries, or to the companies that are doing it the most, and saying no, it was worth it. It was worth it.
Beyond
Cyberpunk was worth it.
Was it in fact? Was it in fact worth it?
I love everything coming out of Cyberpunk. Don't even like.
Okay.
Ian.
Also, really just on a side note, I'm not even a fan of Christopher Nolan as a director. Like, so that's just me.
Oh man.
Yes. I know that part's just me, but anyway, VGA sucked. That was like the last thing I had going.
Okay. On that note, happy Christmas.
Well, let's say. Well, you know what? We got 20 minutes, right? Like,
yeah.
Let's at the very least, like, I don't know what's the. I mean, we're trying to end positive on this horrendous year of fire and brimstone, and they're just
mortality
down in person. What are you guys looking forward to? What is something you want that you're going to do during the holidays that you're actually looking forward to?
Well, as far as over the holidays, I'm looking forward to getting in touch with a handful of people I haven't heard from in a minute. I'm looking forward to, I'm gonna make some special Christmas meal. I'm gonna roast a ham.
How are you gonna roast it?
Great.
Yeah, you are.
I'm putting on my chef's hat right now. How are you gonna roast it? What are you gonna
do? What's my process?
Well, like what? Yeah. Are you gonna honey glaze it? You gonna brown sugar coat, or what are we doing?
I'm gonna be doing a brown sugar covering.
Easy, but always like the best, like the safest bet. Like
delicious. Gonna
get that crust. Tinfoil. That's the crust, dude.
I wanna cook that thing nice and slow. Let that thing fall apart.
Oh yeah, it's all the sugar almost has to burn, like that type of stuff.
Hopefully, and this will be my first year cooking it in a because my old house, I actually only ever used electric, so I've been getting more accustomed to a gas stove. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to try that out. So. Yeah. What about you, Nick? What are you most looking forward to?
For this holiday, I think I'll just be catching up on like things I've been putting off because of like work for holidays. I think like a lot of people, when you get chances like this, to be like, I guess like in a room or like ability to work on things, so that I'll make it as vague as possible for that. In that case, that and like getting like you said, getting in touch with people you haven't talked to in a while, because not only pandemic, because work and just how things are.
Oh,
just life. It's life,
Life, yeah.
And that is not.
And then,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was gonna finish it by saying, and then just catching up on all the games I wanted to. I've been putting off as well, and then I'm looking forward to things coming out in January, because next year is gonna be a lot of games coming out. A lot of projects coming out. Supposedly, if things go the way they say they goes.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's that.
Yeah, maybe next year I'll get a PS5. Again, like
maybe
I said,
you'll get a router.
Maybe. Oh, a router is like a priority, like as opposed to
PS5 router.
Oh yeah. No, the
you fan. Want the spider router?
It's the one that looks like a fan. You seen that the big standing slim fan that actually looks like a PS5?
Yeah,
that thing. But yeah, is that anything else, Nick?
To my knowledge, that seems about it at the moment.
What am I looking forward to then? Yeah, catching up on like actually playing video games for regularly is kind of cool. Enjoying that. Probably get back to work on some things. And just kind of relaxing because you have been going so hard late with work and everything. So getting to know what that's like again. Probably get back on like an actual training regimen rather than just relying on the bucket of sweat I used to produce every day at work to help out. I'm looking forward. I've like going back to cooking. I always enjoy that. I'm trying to get over the problem of once I'm in the kitchen cooking, please do not bother me. Just let me cook. Because I mean, you live in a house with people, you can't just do that. So, gotta get better.
I've got one other question for you guys. I'd love to hear is what about 2021? What are you guys looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the clock turning.
Future,
and it says 2020 New Game Plus.
Oh shit!
How do I feel about something that's not going to happen yet? My experience with the future is that you have to wait until it becomes the past, and you can be like, "Man, that guy was an idiot."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ain't
that the truth? No.
And then
20. I don't know, man. I never dug New Year's resolutions, or especially as I got older.
But you
just because I don't like, if I'm gonna make a change, I'm gonna make a change.
Well, I would like say maybe it'll help more if you're like, oh, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna at least try this new thing this year, or like try to learn this skill. At least that's what helped me with the whole quote unquote resolutions. Like, you know what? I'm gonna try this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to learn that. Like,
like
at least I found that helped me more. Was like,
buy that
I'm gonna try to have a skill. I'm gonna try to learn, or like something I've been putting off.
And for those, and I do want to say this to people, it's been a crazy year. It's been wild.
Yeah.
To say the fucking least, and that's putting it in like very mild terms. Don't feel like if you don't feel like you haven't accomplished anything by the end of the New Year, who gives a shit, dude? 2020 was fucking batshit insane. Like, you survived, you did it. Like, good job.
If you managed to, with relative success, be able to get through this year, maintain most of your the business you need to take care of as a functioning adult.
Yeah.
Take that as a win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, relax. You're in the green. Don't worry.
The whole world was against you, and you're here. The whole world was trying to fight you and give you every reason not to be, and you're here.
Yeah, you had every right to lose, but you never did. So just know that.
So good fucking job to you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Other than that, I'm gonna drink some fucking eggnog, and you're like, I'm gonna get hammered.
Yeah, same
this holiday season.
You gotta send me.
I'm gonna end this with some fucking debauchery. I got so many beers that are gonna be ready by aging this year. And fuck, dude. It's gonna be wild.
I just picked up some rum, and I really want to learn how to make like this Caribbean style eggnog this year. I think I'm gonna try.
Oh yeah, I think my mom was trying. Well, no, she was trying to make a Cuban drink.
Oh, is it called like coquito or something like that?
Yeah, the one with condensed milk.
Coquito, yeah.
Okay, if your mom makes some, can I steal some from your house? Please.
I'll let you know if she does. We just bought condensed milk today.
All right, tight.
So I'm gonna help her make.
Yeah, that's a little coconut, right? That's that little coconut. Yeah, that's what's
coconut.
Yeah,
coquito,
coconut cream.
And that's definitely something I'm looking forward to is trying new mixed drinks on top of like many people, you learn new recipes for food, but for me it was like I've been trying to pursue like trying to be able to experiment with mixed drinks and then with new liqueurs I haven't tried before, and it's funny because like I would say I'm approaching that the way I've been approaching when I first picked up my guitar, which was like I find approaches of things I'm already familiar with, and then that way I'm more comfortable trying a new thing or like something I felt was just impossible to do.
Baby steps, dude. Operational goals is what they're called.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the short answer. But yeah,
so we're
definitely
all
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Hammered.
Yeah.
We're all getting unkled this holiday season.
Yeah. To paraphrase a great quote from the Boondocks, when everything seems like it's against you, and when you feel like you're overwhelmed by what's around you, what can you do in those moments? And like the late Washington said, you do what you can.
There you go.
Oh, there you are, man. Powerful.
So let's get fucking drunk. Hey, let's have a good time.
Fucking uncle. All right, happy holidays.
Oh my god. Holy shit, Chris, we didn't talk about the song machine.
Oh yeah, we saw this song machine. Hey, guess what? It was great. Happy holidays,
incredible.
Everyone.
That's the cliffhanger. Enjoy.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, man. Nice.
Ooh.
Huh? I think you're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, your first plan should be getting by us.
Though you call yourselves bladers, you don't know the real truth about bay blading. There is a tremendous power hidden within bays. Since ancient times, the existence of bays can be found in moments throughout history. The power of Beyblades have been used to change the course of rivers and oceans. They have been used to defeat many armies and create huge empires.
You wouldn't be so tough without that helmet, little brother.
You're on, Proto-Man.
Plasma power!
Missed me again, number one, son.
But I won't miss this time.
Oh no! He's gonna blast President Lincoln!
Ha! I knew you'd risk yourself for Mr. Lincoln.
Simpson scandal update. Homer sleeps nude in an oxygen tent, which he believes gives him sexual powers.
Hey, that's a half-truth.
Shara, will you grant me one more wish? I wish for a mountain of handkerchiefs. Now, just let yourself cry, as much as you need to. You'll have plenty of handkerchiefs to help you through it.
Well, sir, treason season started early this year as a nuclear sub was hijacked by local man Homer Simpson.
Oh my God! I told him that photo would come back to haunt him.
Could Homer Simpson be a communist? His father spoke out on his behalf.
My Homer is not a communist. He may be a liar, a pig, an idiot, a communist, but he is not a porn star.
Hero call! This trap card lets me pick a monster and put him on the top of my deck. And I choose this. Elemental hero, Neos. Not so fast. Thanks to my stage select spell, he won't be there for long. Because now I get to shuffle your deck. So how do you like this? Bada bing! I'll shuffle these boys real good.
でも先輩結構みんなに優しいじゃん。なんか声かけてくれたりとか。でも香水もらったらなんかこんなんくれるって。嘘好きすぎ合うのすっごい恥ずかしい。うわ明日バイトなんだけど。いつでもそこに。マジで
Iris!
Sarah.
Hang in there, Iris.
Please, stay away from Replophos. Let's live together. In a world where only Reploids exist.
Iris, there's no world just for Reploid. It's only a fantasy.
Yes, I know, but I wanted to believe it. I wanted to live in a world where only Reploids exist. With you.
Iris! 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 Ah! No, this isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on. What? What am I fighting
for? Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show.
Hey everybody, I'm done trick-or-treating and now I'm gonna go for a stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut. Yay!
Not yet, Pizza Head. There's one more place to go.
I don't think anyone's home.
Sure there is.
Hello, trick-or-treat! Interesting hieroglyphics on this pizza. Ah!
Quick, Pizza Head, let's go upstairs.
Hey, who is here anyway?
It's your host, Count Steve.
Oh, nice place. You got it. Ah! I want to go to Pizza Hut now!
The Count will be happy to give you a lift.
Oh, hey, put me down! Put me down!
See you next time.
I know a place that's peaceful and quiet. A place where animals play. It's called the forest, but every year we start forest fires. A careless match or cigarette and poof, fire. So the next time you're in the forest, be extra careful, okay?
If you knew it was me, would you have listened?
Will you hold it down out there? You guys are always fighting!
Enid Clinton, we've got business with your husband. What? John? Hal Jordan, another time shift. I'm up to speed. Carry on. No booby traps.
At least none that my ring can detect.
Make up your mind, would you?
뭐야?
Have you noticed any change in Bart?
New glasses?
No, he looks like something might be disturbing him.
Probably misses his old glasses.
I guess we could get more involved in Bart's activities, but then I'd be afraid of smothering him.
Yeah, and then we'd get the chair.
That's not what I meant.
It was, Marge, admit it.
What's so special about Splinter?
Yo, dude, it's so. Like Splinter's our dad, you know? I mean, what's so special about your dad?
Pepsi for TV game.
Mmm, 64 slices of American cheese. 64. 63. 2. 1.
Have you been up all night eating cheese?
I think I'm blind.
What? Good day to you.
My mother risked her life for me, and now you too. I should have saved you. I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light!
Escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth! I defeated you once, and I shall do it again!
No, Magneto. I let you win before, in order to learn your plan, to trap you. But now the victory belongs to the Fantastic Four.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power? No mere weapon can stop me. With but a gesture, I can destroy it, or turn it against you. Behold! I'll make it leap from your hand, and make you its target. Now!
Not this time, Magneto. This time I'm fighting for real.
It's impossible! It cannot be! Nothing can defy my magnetic power!
The Fantastic Four can. You're finished, Magneto. Surrender! You have no other choice.
Why? Why will the gun not obey me? My power is gone. I'm helpless. Magnetism. It was my greatest weapon.
Okay, Richards. We'll take care of him now.
First tell me, how did you do it? How did you take away my power?
I didn't, Magneto. I merely tricked you.
You lie! I couldn't control your gun. You made me lose my magnetism.
You're wrong. I just guessed that you'd overlook one simple thing. Your magnetic power only works on metal, like all magnets. But my gun isn't real. I made it out of wood, specially to fool you.
What? A wooden gun?
That's why your power didn't work. And it's why you're a prisoner of the police now. Take him away, men.
A wooden gun. He tricked me with a wooden gun.
We can't bust heads like we used to, but we have our ways.
Oh, you got it.
One trick is to tell them stories that don't go anywhere. Like the time I caught the ferry over to Shelbyville. I needed a new heel for my shoe. So I decided to go to Morganville, which is what they call Shelbyville in those days. So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time. Now, to take the ferry cost a nickel, and in those days, nickels had pictures of bumblebees on them. Give me 5 bees for a quarter, you'd say. Now, where were we? Oh, yeah. The important thing was that I had an onion on my belt, which was the style at the time. They didn't have white onions because of the war. The only thing you could get was those big yellow ones.
Eric!